I'm Barry McKnight here on the Troy University campus, and we're talking a little soccer today. Not only Troy soccer coach Jed O'Connor, but Troy alumni Kiersten, Edlund, Natalie, Melillo. Kiersten is joining us from Spain. Natalie is in Rome right now. And Coach Jed O'Connor, I know you've got to be awfully proud of these young ladies. Kiersten has just begun her professional career. Natalie's beginning it in a matter of days. I know you're bursting with pride, Coach.
Oh, it's great to see former players go out and do what they've dreamed of doing for years.
First of all, let's start with Kiersten. You are in Spain. You have already begun, as of a week ago, your professional career. CD Parquesol in Spain. Am I right? Am I close, Kiersten?
Yes. Yeah, you're close. So it's just you don't have the accent. It's you said it right.
Yeah. Now, and Natalie begins in Rome with Aprilia Racing Club in Italy this weekend. Am I right?
Next weekend we open up against Bologna.
Okay, so in a week. Let's start with Kiersten, because you have just begun. What has the professional experience been like for you?
Different, for sure. I think that's the main word that I would use. A lot different than college soccer, especially since I'm not doing school really at the same time. It's just I have a weird amount of free time, but then it's like I'm focused on soccer. So it's like a lot different. The style of play is different. It's a lot to adjust to, but I'm not trying to like change how I play. I'm just trying to see how they play, try to put myself into how they play,
Mm-hmm. Natalie, does that resonate with you? Does that sound familiar? You have Kiersten's experience. Is that what you're kind of going through yourself over in Italy?
So mine is just a little different. I am getting another master's degree over here, actually. So I have school some days, mm-hmm. and then most of the time, though, at nighttime, I do have practice, and it's definitely different from college soccer. I think Jed's accent, it's easy to understand. Coming over here and they only speak Italian, it's a little tough trying to understand anything they say on the field, but it's definitely different from college soccer, I'd say.
Coach, are you surprised at any level that these young ladies are now playing soccer professionally?
No, I think a number of the players have the ability for sure to go out and play in the professional ranks. I think what the two girls are alluding to is like the lifestyle is just completely different, and a lot of the times being able to translate that from the college into the professional ranks is a bigger challenge than the game itself. But no, I mean in terms of skill and maturity levels, I've got no doubt that both of them are going to be really successful.
Kiersten, I don't know if you remember this or not, but I interviewed you after your freshman year on a Trojan tour down in Pensacola. Kiersten is from Go Freeze, am I right?
Yes.
And I remember because we were in Pensacola, there was a large group of Trojan fans there, and it was a fundraiser, and there was a golf tournament and everything. And they said, well, you're going to be talking with Kiersten Edlund. She's just finished her freshman year, which we didn't have a lot of on there.
Yeah.
And she's going to be fine. Do you think back to your freshman year, your freshman experience when you started at Troy, and to your current life and your current assignment in soccer, and think about how much you've advanced, how much you've matured, how much you've grown?
I don't even think about it sometimes. It's just like it all went by so fast. So it feels like yesterday we were at the Trojan tour having the interview, because like right now it still hasn't hit me that I'm here sometimes. I'm just like, look out, I'm like, wow, like I'm in Spain and there's no way I can maybe like take that road and drive home. Like I don't even know. I don't know. I had no plans of what I was going to do, I guess, with my soccer career. I knew I wanted to play as long as I could, but I mean, I never knew I would be at this point, I think, right now.
Natalie, I guess the same question applies to you. It's a bit of a culture shock. You mentioned, going to Italy. Was it much of a culture shock coming from New Jersey to Troy? Do you remember your maturation process through your career at Troy University?
Yeah, it was definitely a culture shock for sure. I mean, I remember the first time stepping onto Troy's campus being like a little freshman. And then once like the whole athletic department had found out I was from New Jersey, I think the entire staff, just Jersey was the nickname. I mean, anytime I go up there, Miss Diane still says like Jersey, and like that stuck with me my whole time being there. So it was definitely a culture shock. I mean, the food is definitely different, just anything. I mean, living 15 minutes from New York City and then going down to little Troy, Alabama, it was definitely a culture shock.
Let me ask this of Coach O'Connor about their development from the moment you first saw them, their first workouts at Troy, until they graduated. Can you speak to the level of development both on the pitch and off?
Well, I saw one of them play in high school, Nat. So I actually recruited Nat to my previous place, and she said no and came to Troy. No, so I knew of Nat way before, and then she actually went to St. Leo to play for me, and then I came to Troy, and she followed me back here.
Right.
But no, seeing Kiersten, even from day one, I remember one of the very early training sessions in spring. Kiersten went and absolutely destroyed one of her teammates in a training session. And I remember thinking, I was standing there with the assistant coach, I'm like, oh, I love that. So even seeing her then coming all the way through, she had the right mentality. Of that, there was no doubt. And then just it's continuing to see her development right the way through. And, I think, her performances as a senior were unquestionably fantastic.
My power went out, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was going to ask about the, a little bit more about the experiences and stuff from being over there a little bit later on. And obviously, some of it it's a little bit different over there. You guys were talking about that before we started this. Let's go to Natalie here. Let's talk about memories, favorite moments here at Troy, things that when you look back that you think, oh yeah, I remember that. That was a good time.
I think there's a lot.
I imagine so.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I was there for a while. So I think one of my greatest memories was stepping back on the field for the first time after my injury. That was probably one of my greatest memories, was playing my first game back, and just like Jed knew, Jed and JoJo were like the two that believed in me the most when it came to coming back from an injury that I had. So I'll never forget that first game playing, and like Jed just came up to me after and he was like, you did it, like you came back. And I was like, yeah. So that by far is probably one of my favorite memories there. And then just stepping on the field, like I'll never forget my I think it was my sophomore year, we played University of South Alabama at home, and we had like record-breaking fans in the stands, and like the whole band was there behind the net and like playing the drums, going crazy, and we beat them that day, and it was just absolute mayhem, and it was amazing. And it was just, I'll never forget like Friday Night Lights, when those lights just went up my freshman year, first time at Troy. They'd finally gotten lights at the field. So like being there for the first time playing underneath the lights, it was just breathtaking, especially for being my college experience too. So I definitely have a lot of good memories from Troy.
Well, Kiersten still has lights. Let's ask her the same. Great memories from you, Kiersten, from your time in Troy. What were your takeaway of the high points of your career here at Troy?
Well, it's hard to follow that up. So I don't, like Nat said, a lot happens in the 4 years you're there. There's so many things I could go down the list and say. Personal memories, I guess. My freshman year, we hadn't beat South in like however many years, and I scored the game-winning goal and we won. And our assistant, or a GA at the time, she was like, "Do you realize what you just did?" And I'm like this little freshman. I'm like, "No, like what did we just do?" And we're like, we just beat South for the first time like however long, and you scored the goal. And I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, it was just kind of crazy, but I don't know. There's just so many things. Just in October, we'd have the Halloween practices. Those are always the fun memories. You get to dress up and practice, and I don't know. I think I was a peanut butter jelly sandwich one year, but it was just everything's fun. I could just sit here and think about different things and keep going on, but I don't. It was overall changed me as a person. Great experiences all around. So yeah, it was good.
Coach O'Connor, let me ask you about what it says about your program when you have young ladies of this caliber and starting off on their professional careers. When you talk to your current team, or when you talk to prospective student athletes, you can point to people like Natalie and Kiersten as examples of what can be accomplished with Troy soccer. What does all that mean?
It's, I think our biggest job here as coaches isn't necessarily soccer. The soccer's going to come. It's developing them as people. We're having more and more meetings and discussions and talking to players about being a great teammate. And the growth from both of these players, from at the very start to even now, is huge. And I think it says, yeah, the soccer part's one thing, but it says a lot about both, that they're both willing to take the leap, and go to a country where they speak a completely different language, and they're not afraid to do it. Hopefully, Troy helped prepare them in some way to be comfortable doing the uncomfortable. That's a big part of what we try and teach these kids. So then tomorrow that becomes normal, and their lives are only going to be so much more better after this experience. And they can look back now and think that college was hard. And it's like, no, let me go back. So it's fantastic for them. It's fantastic for the soccer program. It's fantastic for the school. I'm proud as can be just to be associated with them.
Final question for both of you, and we'll start with Natalie this time. If you had the opportunity right now here to speak to the young ladies on the team, or to speak to people considering attending Troy and playing soccer for the Trojans, what would your message be to them?
Oh, I would tell them to dream big and don't let anybody stop you from any dream you have. Don't let anybody stand in your way. Don't let anybody tell you no. And if I had to speak on Troy's, it made me mature as a person. It made me love the South. So I would just say dream big, follow your dreams, and literally do not let anybody stop you. And Troy is definitely a place I call home, and I will forever call Troy home.
Kiersten, let's follow up with you. Same question.
Of course. I guess I would say just enjoy the time you have while you're there, because like I said before, it goes by so fast. I can't believe I'm not in college anymore. And to not give up no matter how hard it gets, because it's hard. Playing a sport in college is very hard, and I think that's one thing that definitely kept me there the whole time. I just never gave up. Even as hard as it is, as many times as I cried, Jed knows about that, but it's worth it in the end. Like I said, I wouldn't be who I am without Troy and Troy soccer. So,
Coach, to follow up on what Kiersten said, I mean, the the price of success is hard, you know, but then again, so are the rewards.
Yeah, they've got a fantastic opportunity being college athletes. It's a fantastic, just the experiences they have, you know, and even now they probably remember so many more things off the field and in the locker room or on the bus. They're the really, really important memories, and I'm sure they've made friends for life.
Well, Kiersten Edlund, she's in Spain. Natalie Melillo, she's in Italy. Ladies, thank you so much for the time. We're awfully proud of you, and good luck. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good seeing you guys.